12 is the time. You are listening to the Weekend Morning Show on CBC Radio 1, 89.3 FM, 990 AM. It's an incurable disease which almost caused a Winnipeg man to go blind. Mark Roy was in his early 30s when he noticed something wrong with his vision. He was later diagnosed with glaucoma, and World Glaucoma Week starts today. So Mark Roy and ophthalmologist Dr. Gdih are here to tell us more about the disease and about the signs your vision could be in trouble. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mark, let's start with you. Take me back to when you first realized that something was wrong with your vision.
Oh, I'm going to go back maybe more around 10 to 12 years ago. What happened was during the Christmas break, I'm a school teacher. So I noticed one night just watching TV that my vision, especially my left eye, was somewhat blurred. So first idea was my glasses were dirty, went to clean the glasses, didn't change. Second thing was, well, maybe there's a little something in my eye. So put just regular saline drops in there, nothing changed. So the following morning I called my specialist just to ask, which wasn't Dr. Gdih at that time, to come and see him, and that's when things started. And what's kind of the interesting part of that first meeting was he was opening drawers and taking dust off certain lenses, or covers of certain lenses. I was like, oh, this is taking longer than a 10-15 minute appointment just to check your eye out. And at the end of that one, he referred me to the Misericordia Hospital, Dr. Mathen, who was there, who officially diagnosed me with iritis, an eye infection. And then that's when we started with steroids, and we did a whole battery of tests and things of that sort.
And then how did it get to the condition where you realized it was glaucoma?
Pretty much when I fell into Dr. Gdih's hands, because my vision deteriorated at one point even more. So what happened is he sent me to Dr. Gdih because pretty much my eye, as Dr. Gdih mentioned, was fully cupped, which means the eye itself was pushing on the optic nerve and slowly but surely killing the optic nerve. So when Dr. Gdih saw me that Friday afternoon, he pretty much said, we need to operate, because if we don't do this within a short period of time, you'll be blind. And my first surgery started with Dr. Gdih. An Ahmed valve was put into my eye.
Dr. Gdih, what is glaucoma? How would you describe that condition?
Okay, so glaucoma is an optic nerve disease to start with. This optic nerve disease could be caused by pressure or sometimes genetic defect. However, the classic picture of glaucoma is someone who has high pressure in the eye, and that pressure, as Mark said, keep pushing on the optic nerve and damage it. Glaucoma comes in two kinds. One is silent, the other one is symptomatic. Mark was lucky in a way that he had the symptoms, so that would bring him into attention. But the serious thing that I would like to highlight to everyone, that the most common type of glaucoma is the silent one, which shows no symptoms in the beginning. And when people start feeling symptoms, meaning losing peripheral vision, which is the most common one, then probably at that time the disease is at an advanced stage. So what we really need to do is to have screening tests, and especially if someone in the family with glaucoma, it's very important that that person goes to their optometrist and get checked, and specifically ask and tell the optometrist that we do have family history of glaucoma and we need to be specifically tested for glaucoma.
What are there other causes?
Apart from genetic causes, there are other causes like injury to the eye, or the use of some medication like steroid being the most classic.
And was that the case with you, Mark?
That was the case with Mark.
Yes.
Mark's condition was iritis, which could damage the eye. But unfortunately, the only treatment is steroid for that. So for that, an attention to the eye pressure should be made so that the optic nerve will not go damaged.
Now, Mark, you mentioned that you had this thing called the Ahmed valve put in your eye. What is that?
When friends ask me exactly what they did, I put it pretty much back into layman's terms. I pretty much say, Dr. Gdih put a jerry can, which has a one-way valve, and a hose into my eye. Because pretty much what he had to do is remove the pressure. So he had to remove liquid from the eye. And my explained to my friends, it's pretty much your eye is like a balloon with this pretty much a jello substance in it. It's not solid rock style, and it's not liquid like just glass of water. So Dr. Gdih pretty much peeling away an onion, cut my eye, put in the valve in with this garden hose tied to it with a one-way valve, and drains my eye so slowly just to keep the pressure at bay. So, and the liquid just goes into my lymphatic system. It's a surgery that doesn't take long, but saved my eye.
Incredible. How much did it impact your life?
You have to listen to your doctor, first of all, and I did not. You have to modify certain things in the beginning because your eye at that point after surgery is very weak. It's the weakest point in your body. And your whole system, your whole lymphatic system is water moving around your whole body. So if you do any strenuous exercise or any strenuous activity, you're putting pressure on your body, which means you're putting pressure on your eye. Approximately about a month after my surgery, friends of ours there was a flood, and they live in the Saint Laurent area. So we went to help them out. And I did move sandbags, not for the full day, but it's a 50-pound bag. And Dr. Gdih said, you weren't even out of the forest, kiddo. Like, what were you doing moving sandbags? So what I did is I pretty much tore where the stitches were and all that. So it caused further damage to the eye. I was on the right path with everything that he did. He did a super job. But listen to your doctor. That's the best thing to do.
Dr. Gdih, it's not curable, but it can be managed. And the Ahmed valve is one way of managing that. But there are other ways to manage glaucoma.
Yes, definitely. So glaucoma, when we first diagnose glaucoma, we start with simply as eye drops and laser. Those two considered non-invasive treatments. And then at certain stage of glaucoma, when we realize those are not enough, then we move on to a surgical treatment, which would be either the Ahmed valve that you talked about, or some other valves available too. It depends on the eye, but being the most common one is Ahmed valve.
And it can happen at any age, like Mark was in his early 30s when this started.
It can happen on day one.
Okay.
A person can be born with this.
With World Glaucoma Week starting today, what final words of advice would you have for our listeners?
I would say the simplest thing that you can do is check your family. See if anyone in the family has glaucoma. Don't hesitate, just go to the eye doctor and tell them, do I have glaucoma? If you do have glaucoma, or you have a risk of glaucoma, or something suspicious noted by the doctor that you may develop glaucoma in the future, I would say keep going to the eye doctor at least once a year and get it checked over and over, because it's very silent and would not show until later stages. And if you have it, then stick with the treatment. Don't do as Mark did.
True.
Just kidding. Mark is a very good patient, by the way. And then the good news, I would say to everyone that going blind, totally blind from glaucoma nowadays, with the very good advance in treatment, is very rare, but it could still happen.
Mark, Dr. Gdih, thanks so much for coming in today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Mark Roy, as I should say properly, is a principal at Collège Louis Riel and lives with glaucoma. Dr. Gdih is an ophthalmologist and member of EPSOM, that stands for the Eye Physicians and Surgeons of Manitoba, which is a group of eye doctors who advocate for their patients in a combined effort to make sure Manitobans get the best eye care possible. And for more information on World Glaucoma Week, check out the website wgweek.net.
The CBC Radio app. Radio on the go. Browse through almost